Hello, hello. All right, we back again, finally. So now on the 25th of January, this is our second episode of Free Portfolio Review Night. So I'm so thankful to be here and I'm so happy also because a lot of you guys out there that actually wants to do this, right? So by letting your artwork or your hard work in this case being what you call it reviewed by me. That will be something. All right. Good morning, Chris, and hello there. Thank you so much for joining. We're gonna try to make sure that everything went well. I check all the softwares on all requirements. Well, my camera is not working that well, so we just have to do with whatever, right? So right now, hopefully, like I got my what you call it, the Discord, the the, the Discord link works. Like hopefully, if you do some clicky over there, you can actually go there instead like last time. It's being blocked for some reason. Uh, so for tonight, all right, this lovely evening, I got three artists prepared. Out of like many other else, like everyone else will get their turn. Of course, you're in the slot, so don't worry. For the next week. All right. So for next week, I will be trying to present three more artists, get the review going. So yeah, just please be patient, and if your time's on, and your time's up, your time's up. You'll be there, and you'll be reviewed here. And also on a side note, I have a lot of like people reminding me regarding like, okay, can I make this video available later or not? So I'm streaming simultaneously to two platforms. So I'll be streaming here on Twitch, but I also like streaming to YouTube. So everything in YouTube will be recorded, right? Like automatically. Like also like in Twitch, they have like some on-demand stuff that I don't really understand how to deal with that. So in case if you're looking for the recording, I'm very sure it's going to be available on YouTube. All right. So the artist for tonight, I have Yana. I think Yana is here, right? Yeah. So, and then I have Erica, and I have Dila. All of them are like visual artists, good at what they're doing, but I'm sure I will have like something to discuss, right? About. And maybe my hope, like anything that you will get out from these sessions, you'll be able to take it. And I don't know, if it worth something, try to use it and improve your works. Because in the end, all of this, I'm doing all of this. This is for your sake. It's not me that going to be like doing all this artwork. This is all yours, right? I'm just gonna try, at least from my point of view, from my side perspective, what can you do to actually push it a little bit more so you can get like the most awesome result that you get. So sit back and relax. So mind you that I probably sometimes I can be a little bit pushover when it comes to things, and like a lot of my students told me that as well. Maybe some of my students even like fear me, so to say. They don't even want to get reviewed by me. So whatever I'm telling you, this is just my personal point of view, and this is how I see it. If I'm going to be the one that actually hire you for a project or work or something like that. So we're gonna play that a little bit. And I promise you, whatever I'm saying right now, I will try to back it up with, well, everything that I know, at least new from, previous experience. All right. So without further ado, I mean, like my face this big, maybe a little bit boring. I'm gonna move to the artist page now. So all of these artists have been sending me the portfolios. All of them is actually an ArtStation, and I have a little bit of like inputs regarding that, regarding the use of ArtStation. Maybe it's something as well that you can use in the future. All right, let's go. So the first one we going to have Yana. I might butcher your name, so hopefully I pronounce it correctly. So it's Yana Filipenko. Pardon me. So yeah, from Stockholm, Sweden. Oh yeah, there we go. Now you will not be able to like see like the entire screen and everything because I'm like pushing it as best as I can. But at least later I will be like focusing on the artworks that the artist made. So again, thank you so much for this one because this one is going to be the first one. And oh, thank you so much. All right, so 3 works, right? 3 works, and this is like very, very that, if you know what I mean. I mean, like probably almost all of the artists that I know already knew about this, yeah. When it comes to like this is something really interesting actually. So, but before all of this, I wanna tell you as well, if you're about to use ArtStation for your portfolio dump, so to say. So if you about to use that single platform for your portfolio, just like any other case, you need to make sure that you only showing the ones that actually up there, right? So the one that's actually looking really, really good, and you sure that it will catch everyone else's attention. So that is what you want to use ArtStation for. Okay, don't use it as an art dump. Please remember that. Use it as a portfolio dump, of course, the best one only. I know, my finger, I mean, like this much is enough. Or if you still want to put like any other artworks, try to utilize their folder system, because the way how you present your portfolio later, there's like some options in ArtStation that you can just select, and like how do you want to display your portfolio. Display it in folder. So create a folder called portfolio and create a folder called like daily arts and stuff like that. If you want to dump like other good stuff over there, not necessarily like the failed one, you know, because you don't want to be putting your failed ones like ever, like especially in ArtStation, you're just going to hurt yourself, you know. So please don't do that. All right. Okay, now I'm going to delve into the artwork. We got 3 artwork, and this is amazing. We have 3, right? And it can only get better from this, right? Like, firstly, like I really want to add like maybe later create like a, you know, like a header that's more you. For now it's okay because it's, well, maybe it's like a placeholder, or you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, like slap something that actually you probably can create like a banner with your name or with your picture or your artwork, like create like you create like a magazine and something like that. Make sure, like, because when people open ArtStation, they will see this, right? Before they even start scrolling down, they will see like the header. So make sure that header is actually interesting. Or maybe just like, I don't know, for fun's sake, maybe you can just like put like a giant arrow in here and like read this. So people will start reading all of this. You can do that. So, but make sure that this is very informative. Maybe you can have like your artwork in here, or your picture in here, saying like hi, and then you have like your name in here, and then tell everyone what you're doing. I mean, like, oh, I'm a this kind of artist. So that will make the information a little bit more better for everyone that's looking at your portfolio. All right, cool. So now to the artwork itself. All right, I will start with this. I like this. I like this. This is from the Adventure Time, right? Like lots of tutorials out there about this guy. Like really popular as well, since well, this guy's a box. It's a Game Boy type of dude. And it's really amazing. All right. So looking at this, your presentation is just as is, right? So maybe from your samples and stuff like that, you saw this, right? And then I'm gonna scroll down. This is how you made it. This is your process, and this is your like flat render without outline shaders or redraw, because you can achieve this using a shader, or you can redraw on top of the existing model or flat colors, right? Okay, and this one is, I think this is grease pencil. Yep, and it's great. All right, so now to the presentation. Okay, so when it comes to the presentation itself, you might want to check like your layouts, right? So you need to have like a good, very good composition. So in this case, we have like a square space, right? So make sure you start utilizing those grids, yeah. So all these grids needs to be well used carefully, because this will guide your viewers eye. So you might have to adjust some of your elements that you're rendering into these, so the viewer can what you call it, can guide their eyes through, like, okay, what I'm gonna be seeing next. All right, hand the camera for them, and then like, okay, maybe like that. So try to guide the eyes of the viewer a little bit better in your portfolio. Oh, sorry, in your presentation. All right. And then on a side note as well, you might want to avoid like putting your name on the asset itself, right? So if you want to put like a signature, probably you can create like a signature here, like and then like other information here, www.something.com. So don't break the viewers point of view, so let them enjoy your result. Okay, so I think that is something that you might want to work on later. So framing, compositions, and information, right? Because they're here to enjoy all of this. Don't break it up with like something else. And if you put your information here, for example, you can even be more precise, and you can have like a lot of space to actually play around, and people can know more about you. All right. So that one, and then this one, right? This is good to show your process, right? But this process is not yet enough, right? First of all, you might want to make this image size the same with the rest. So what you will show the recruiter or like people that want to look at your work, consistency. And that's what you want. You want to be an artist that's consistent in their result, consistent in their artwork, and so on. So even that kind of like small thing can help a lot. So make sure you actually make it consistent when it comes to like sizings and placements. All right. Hopefully I'm not too fast and you can understand that one. But when it comes to your workflow, all right, so workflow, and we're talking about the 3D art pipeline, like 3D modeling pipeline, right? So you need to make sure that you have like all the necessary workflow. I mean, show how you blocking it, right? So the block, so like this, like the block. And then after that, you might want to show your audience your poly count, like polygon count is something, especially if you want to make this work in a game. If not, still show it. There is no wrong with it, right? So your poly count. And then after that, you might also want to break down your UV. So your UV map is something that you can brag to your audience. Like, look at this space. I've been utilizing this whole space to create this and that, so there's no room get wasted, basically. So that is something. And then after that, you will have the final render. And also you want the final render with wireframe. I'm bad tonight. But yeah, so this is usually good enough to show your workflow when it comes to like making 3D models, right? If you want to do like something extra, you can also come up with a sketch. If you do your sketch, but I mean, or you can also show the sample, like your reference image. You can show the concepts or like reference. Use that. I mean, you need to be able to tell like your audience, like, oh, I'm doing this because I'm looking at this and I want to create this. Or even if you draw yourself, that probably can be even more better, so you can be more agile in the eyes of the viewer. All right, so yeah, I mean, like, hope it helps, because I think if you do that, you will enhance your work by, I don't know, 1,000 folds. Okay, so this is some extra. This is not necessary, but again, at the sketch, at the concepts, you know, like, again, like blocks like in 2D if you have any. Right, this can be like, well, more points. So ta-da, you got more points on this one. But this thing here, like all of this one on the list, this is really, well, basic, I guess. Like, I do this to most of the students as well, like that I have in my school. So this, try to make like this pipeline workflow as a must, so they get used to it. You know, they get comfortable on showing like, oh, look at this, look at that. Maybe you're not good at like one thing. Let's say some people love UVing, right? They hate like just, you know, cutting those scenes and everything. But you still, if you can provide your viewers with that, that will be like a plus for you. All right, so it means, what I mean by all of this is you showing your best step. You not necessarily have to be like God in that, but, well, you show your steps. You need to show your viewer that you're an agile artist. You're not like tunnel vision, like, oh no, I only want to draw this. You don't want that. So you want to be as agile as possible, because, well, the one with like more knowledge and like, you know, those agilities, well, they tend to have like more checks, so to say. All right, so, all right, let's go. Well, now I made the screen crazy. Cool. So to this one, this is already like part of the presentation, and also, but this is like not necessary, because if you have like the rest of the thing that you that we have listed before, you should be golden. All right. Cool. So now I'm going to go back to your first. Okay, how does that feel so far? I hope you're okay. Right? Like, sometimes I can be too fast as well, and sometimes I can be not that clear. So feel free, just, you know, write some text in the chat and I will read it. If you have like some confusion or like questions, go ahead. All right. All right. So let's go to the next one. Okay. Now we have this Japanese house. So Japanese house. And then the description being a model of Japanese house made in Blender using references. Had a lot of fun coloring this scene. Okay, so this is a tip as well. If you use ArtStation, all right? Some people miss this, but Here on the description, you have like a model of a Japanese house made in Blender. Like you not necessarily have to do that, because here you got software used, right? I mean, like that would be like better references when people wants to know about like what kind of software that you're using. So you can save that space for something else. All right. So save those spaces for information that you actually want to give to your viewer. All right. So utilize that, and also be a little bit more descriptive, but not like too much text or like wall of text, right? But put something that can actually help, because you already have the visual guides, right? You already have the result, but you might sometimes it doesn't convey that the message too much. You might want to help guide the viewers using the text as well. I mean, it's like, oh, a model of a Japanese house, like right now. This is me being honest, right? This is me being me. That just looked like a house. It doesn't look Japanese. It doesn't look Chinese. It doesn't look Swedish, American. It's a house. All right. Description can be misleading as well. So be careful with that. Make sure that what you're presenting is like as is. All right. If it's a Japanese house, make sure it looks Japanese as hell. You know, it needs to be like, oh shit, that's Japanese. You want that because you're the artist, you're the visual artist. You need to convey your message to visual. Make sure it works. Just like caveman drawing some ooga booga stuff, like, things. It's ugly, but the message, you can read it, right? So do that. Make sure that your viewer understand what you try to, basically what you want to show, and make them able to read it even just by looking the visual. All right. So right now, and then also when it comes to this, I'm not sure if you're using like any reference or something like that, but a mix in things and like a little bit more background study in things can help. Okay, I will try to help you out on this one. Hopefully this will help on your next work, right? So first of all, like number one, we already talked about like the house, right? The shape, the everything, like the visual shape. We need to make sure that this thing is like, well, Japanese, if you want it to be Japanese. Right now I can say like this is a Polynesian house and it still look like a house, like, so you know what I mean. All right, now the second one, what we want to talk about is the theming, like a little bit of a background depth into things, like right now, is this kind of bench used in a Japanese, if you want to make things a little bit Japanese, maybe you want like a table, maybe like, kind of feel Japanesey, if that's a word even. So think about that, the theming, right? So maybe you'll make like some Zen tables, like with some, I don't know, people sitting in the log or like a pillow or something, maybe. Because this, I think this kind of bench, I can find all of this like in a American style playgrounds or schools or European, but not so much like in Asia. Maybe like in Asia we have like something like that as well, but maybe the one that's actually made using pipes, so something like that. And then it's still like the same construction and everything, but mostly using like metal rather than woods. Okay, because in some of the countries in Asia especially, we have like some countries that actually humid and stuff like that, so people there are not utilizing wood that much, something like that. So a lot of like back studies into things before you execute. All right, and then when it comes number 3 is the flora. All right, make sure this flora is what you see, like especially in the typical situation, it's a beach, right? You need to kind of think about like what kind of like flora there is on a beach. So make sure it's connected. All right. The rest of the thing is good. Like these, we have Patrick. We have like stones, like all the other elements. Like this one, this thing can be really good as an element, right? It's just like a random thing. This can be like a random thing, but you're missing something that actually make the scene a beach, right? Let's say I'm gonna do this, and then let's say you add like something over here, right? Use my drawing, but yeah, I'm not the best of drawing person, so but let's say that make things a little bit more cozier. Maybe it can help the scene a little bit more, right? And then probably here you can add like a little bit of like what you call it, like rendering those things, shaders, right? Like choose the water, another water shaders that can help you with that, right? And this framing is already good by putting these, but this stones, these doesn't help at all. Might as well just remove it because, well, this is the main point, right? So make sure that this is the focus, right? So maybe you want exactly that. Like when it comes to this, right? Doing artworks, you will miss a lot. That's why you discuss your work. Me, I'm loud. I mean, like when I draw something or I create something, usually I discuss with my friends or I don't know with my colleagues at the office. I'm just like, hey, I drew this. What do you think? I mean, like I need to make sure that all the information that have been collected and the message that I try to convey to my viewer is correct. So those trial and errors is part of your process. Don't be afraid to do that. You're not necessary. There's no one rushing you to put your work out there as fast as you can. No. Usually, like fast artwork, usually crappy. Usually, I don't know. Some people are just good. You know, this is in my case at least. Like when I try to rush something without even clear of what I'm doing, usually the result is never good. So take your time. Make sure you build it up. Like just bit by bit. Add the thing, just like in Photoshop, like layer by layer. Keep adding good stuff on top of it, and later on, you will adjust before you actually export and save as PNG. So yeah, hopefully that helps, but that's what I'm thinking about this scene, all right? Don't rush things. Okay, so we're gonna be hopping to the last one, I guess, and this is the most controversial topic, especially here in Sweden, at least, when it comes to this. Like lots of like students trying to apply for like an art school, or I don't know, something a little bit like a gaming school or whatnot. Usually, if you present this, it's gonna be a little bit more hard for you to get accepted, right? And this is probably you heard this as well from like other people. But this is real. So everybody know this one. Like donut is always good, a very good starting point, but donut is not always the best for your portfolio to show. So you need to be evolved a little bit than a donut, so to say, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm looking at these, right? Presentation, refer back to whatever I'm saying before, because that is what you need to work on your presentation. When it comes to like the texturing, like all the glazes, right? But all of this all feel unfinished, right? Because let's say if you want to be detailed, let's say you want to make this donut to be as realistic as possible, there is a lot of like inconsistencies in there. For example, like the crossing between these. I mean, which line is on top of which line, right? Because in reality, the glazers, like the donut makers, they will put this line first, right? And then they will put the other lines later. So it means the red will be on top of the green. You need to show it in your texture if you want to be realistic, because that's how finicky thing is. Oh, like this one, for example. Oh, it's on top. And then later, probably like other things. So be very careful with that. That's why I said, like, think or plan about like what you want to be in the final result. I think to start with like something cartoony or just fun is good enough, without you have to try too hard. All right, so you know what's your limit. By the way, could you please recommend ways of finding other artists for reviews? Oh, well, the best way to do that, I think, is just asking. Just ask them if they have time. They will help. But also, like every other things in the world, I mean, if they happen to be busy or they don't happen to be have no time, well, they won't. It's as simple as that. But in my personal experience, it's as easy as that. That's what I've been doing. There's a lot of like my students. They've been doing that too. They just like message some artists that they love to have their opinion on, and that's exactly what they said. And also, when it comes to this, like if you in a school like an art school or something like that, or probably planning to join some, usually those schools, they will provide you with great reviewers, like teachers that actually know what they're doing. They will be more than happy to give you feedbacks. So that's a never ending stuff. Well, the only true thing that I can say right now, well, it's internet, like just push them. But again, if you want to show them, like, and then you want their input, make sure that your artwork is actually, well, worth talking about, if you know what I mean. You know, don't send them like artworks that you haven't finished, for example, or it's like a halfway. It's not even good according to you. Don't do that. Like, if you want to approach people, it's best if you approach them with something that actually, well, close to finalization. So if you want to attract their input, I think that's the best way to do that. Because I've been reviewing a lot of like people as well, like including just artists in general, and then like students, family, even like even to my daughter. I told her that, like, make sure the thing that they're doing is actually finished first, rather than I keep repeating the same things again and again, because that will be dull sometimes for the artist. Imagine, like, okay, you create an artwork and then you send it to someone, and then this someone is like, oh shit, this is not even finished, and then this person talks about the lighting, for example. Oh, hey, I saw your artwork. I think your lighting needs a little bit of work. But because your lighting is not even finished, it's not even like touching things like in a detailed way, it's very ambiguous for this person to actually give you a solid answer, because, like, oh my god, there's a lot of wrong in this one. I don't know where to start. So for you as an artist, you need to remove that possibility. Just make as the smallest room for people to actually comment, because that's when you feel you're going to be succeed. You know, when the input is, well, a little bit less, and all those reviewers or like other artists that looking at your artwork, all they can do is just like, things look good. I think it looks good. I don't know what to say. That what you want. Or you want like, oh, this looks good, but I think like the water needs to be like, probably you have like another option to change the color into like a little bit reddish of those, because inputs like that is what you want. Okay. Some people, or maybe me, sometimes I say things about like, oh, that is ugly, or not like, I mean, like, oh, I, that is wrong. But I don't come up with like the answer after that, like the solution. I'm trying my best not to do that, right? I just right now, before this stream starts, like I got one of my students actually contact me regarding his work on a piece of guitar, right? Tried my best to explain like why I don't like that, but I also try to come up with like some solution. How about if you do it like this? And then he will take that information, get back to his brain process, and then like, oh, probably Priya is right. Probably, right? But he will never know until he actually tries. Because in the end, again, like I said, like in the very beginning, it's not me that's going to be working on the artwork. It's going to be you as the artist. So yeah, and that's that. Whew. So, Yana, what do you think? Hopefully, there's a lot. All right, I can give you like lighting. I can do a lighting not comment. It's just like my input basically regarding the scene, these two scenes, right? Because this one is flat, so I will not be able to do anything about this one. But this one, right? Basic of lighting is like basics on everything else as well, right? So like in drawing, you have the midground, you have the foreground, you have the background. Same with lighting as well. And lighting even can be more complicated because lighting is bounce, right? In reality, cartoon, realistic, whatever, light still bounce. So you need to make sure you have all of those covered. Back to like the basic drawing board: midground, foreground, background. So it means neutral, highlights, shadow, right? Think about that and combine those elements carefully. So if you have like one source of light, make that the main one, make them the neutral one. And then after that, you need to know where the shadow is actually bleeding through. Right? And then after that, make sure the rim is right so you have the nice highlight as well to complement your scene. So let's see at this donuts again. Right? The general lighting, like given by 3D softwares, for example, they're really like nice. But you might need to be able to, I don't know, play that around to your liking to make your scene a little bit not dramatic, but have a little bit of a flair on it, because that's what you want, right? You want to be able to show people that, okay, this is the mood that I want, that I'm looking for, and I hope you will feel that as well. Because it doesn't matter. I mean, like this is an example. When you're making this scene, you want this. I want this to look like God as fuck. Like that's what you want. But but in reality, you cannot produce that. So your message ended up being wrong, and people is reading something else. I'm like, oh, this is like Care Bears, like so happy. So try to make sure that the setting is correct for everyone. So if you're looking for an input, look for an input about like, I'm planning to have this kind of scene, like this kind of tone. How do you feel? Like if you ask people, and it was like, nah, this is not dark enough for me. So that is the kind of input that you want. All right. But for now, if let's say the majority of the lighting is actually came from this area, right? But like I say also, like things bounce everywhere. So things might spray back here. But this one is the strongest. This is main, right? And then you have the secondary, which is this one. And you might have like some tertiary lights to help us bring things, brought things up, right? So 1, 2, 3. All of this will have the similar properties. They will have the midtones, they will have the foreground, they will have the background, they will have the highlights, they will have the shadow. So make sure the priority is there. So from 1, 2, 3, they all will have those, but you need to be able to check that everything is, well, where you need it. right? So for this one, you get this check-ish, right? And then we have the second one we have from this one. It's not that obvious, but I kind of need to see like something at least from here. So the lighting needs to be helping out, because this one is actually pushing some lights from here or even here, right? And then we have number 3. This one can be like the highest highlight, and maybe this might have to do with like some lighting that can help you out with a lot of things, right? It will be bringing more and more like light that can help you. So try to play with that kind of idea. So make sure this one is the strongest, maybe a little bit more different color from this side, and also a little bit of like other color from that one for the highlights. Of course, it can be like a little bit more brighter or darker, but those separation that all these 3 lights made, it will help. So yeah, I think that's the only thing I can tell you about the lighting. Hope it helps. Ooh. I think you're ready. You know, after this one, hopefully you can just go to your next artwork and create something. Just play around, you know, have some fun. All right. Cool. Okay, the next one. I'm gonna take a bit of a break. I'm gonna grab like a quick coffee, but the next one we're gonna be talking about Erika. Okay, so be right back. While waiting for the water, and start moving on to the next one. And also, I think I made a note for myself that I'm going to be needing like a some kind of like a be right back screen, you know, so you guys won't have to look at my like empty backgrounds with no me in there. So yeah. But thank you so much, Yana. Thank you so much for, you know, pushing your stuff. I really do hope that you will make something like more and more better after this one. So keep coming back, you know? Okay. My pleasure. And I'm so happy that it helps. Okay, so this one is from Erika Schneider. Hopefully, I don't say it wrong, but again, I tried my best. And Erika is from Cologne, Germany. Cologne. I just want to be like know a little bit more better about Erika. Erika is a creative and passionate 2D artist specializing in illustration, concept art, and game asset creation. Graduated as a 3D game artist at SAE Institute, Frankfurt am Main, Germany. But yeah, so as the description, Erika is a 2D artist. I mean, like, at least like you want to push yourself to this, like, you know, 2D and high. So this is like this is the way. I mean, you want to focus, you focus. and make yourself good, at least good, and can fulfill the needs of your clients in the future. Because in the end, as an artist, we answer to clients, we need to be able to make those people happy, right? Within your style, or I know within someone else's style, or whatever they want. Client is always king, and we need to be able to cater to what they need. That's a good one, of course, right? Cool. So I think the water is done. I'll be right back. Okie dokie. I'm back. I'm back. And let's scroll a little bit. So if you want to check my Erica's work, it's Erica_Schneider.artstation.com. So check that one out. And then right now we have a couple of like examples, right? Some of this in the same titling, some of this is from the same kind of game, right? And then a lot of like fan arts as well. So this is student project, and this is like the hand painted textures and drawing, for icons. That's a lot of good stuff. So we gotta check this one out. All right. But again, like this is for later. I'm just going to repeat this just in case some of you guys like missing this from the very beginning, right? So you guys choose ArtStation for this, right? Treat it nicely and separate your work. When it comes to your portfolio, you want only the best in there, right? You want to put only the most eye-catching, nice, great, awesome in one folder, and you put everything else in the other folder, or you just don't include them in your ArtStation. But the one thing that I want to keep pushing is don't treat your ArtStation as an art dump. Okay, you art dump somewhere else, maybe in your own blog or I don't know, some other sphere. But if you plan to use ArtStation as your main portfolio place, only put portfolios there, like the best of the best. I know a lot of people probably doing that, and maybe I might be wrong as well in that. But if I'm a recruiter, I will be happy to just see what I want to see. Like enough information so I can get to know the artist visually, right? And of course, you can always like add like link to things, right? Like, oh, if you want to check like more of my artwork, you can please visit my website, for example. And then you put your other artworks in there, so if just in case. But portfolios, like fast used, you want to wow the recruiter or the client with just a couple of like samples of your work, a taster, a trailer, a teaser, that when they open it they'll be like, oh my god, this is good. But they don't have like a lot of like crazy things happening in their head as well, because they get too many information. You don't want to do that. You want to give your clients or employers like some enough information for them to process and to know you. Like, okay, this person is good at doing A, B, C. That's what I need. I'm gonna hire this one. So, like that. All right. But yeah, again, enough about that. I'm not here to actually talk about the how you act in your presenting your portfolio, but at least hopefully that will help, right? And also now a little bit of like inputs that I want to say, but again, this is my opinion. This is personal. So you might want to avoid like putting fan arts. So either your OC or your previous work or project, try to stick to that because those are real, right? Fan scan, like fan art, is great and all, but that is your interpretation of like some other stuff. That can be in some other folders, in my opinion, because it's going to be better, like I said, because you want to show all of this as yourself. You want to put yourself in the front. Therefore, you might be a little bit more, what you call it, you have like more advantage if you put the, what you call it, the original result of you, like your OCs or like your original creations or like a previous client works or like work. Things gonna be better. It will strengthen your portfolio more. Cool. But I'm going to start delving. I'm not gonna be like talking about like everything, right? Because we need to save time and we need to like move on as well. But I will try my best on this one. And I'm guessing this is like students, like here, like students, and then your more like professional stuff like on the top. But we'll see. I love this, right? This is the bread of and butter of like making hand painted texture. I've been doing this a lot of times, and like when it comes to hand painted texture, this is something that I put like dearly. And the way you actually present it, I love it, right? So because you have your texture and everything, but you block it with your information down there. So this is seamless, but you make it non-seamless by adding your information over there. Well, just in case someone downloaded for fun, And that is the noble way to do it. Great job. That is the way. Also, same with this one. Like your execution, I want to say it's a general execution. Like almost every hand painted texture that you haven't made this yours, right? Because this is the style that we sing. This is the style that I did, you did, and every other people did, right? So look all like this, but it's still not your OCs. But I'm not saying that this is a bad work. This is great work, and I love it. So you want that. And also the composition of things, right? Bricks, stones, lava. It's like everyone, including me, I did this. So yeah, really great work. Like, but I want to talk a little bit about this. Like when you present it like this make it more professional look, because now you have the texture itself, right? And then you have the grayscale version of it, and you put this. This is what I'm talking about. I love when people just put like, okay, I took my reference from this. This is not mine, but that's my reference, and look how I got. You did a great job. And I think maybe because I know like this one is what you call it, it's a flat texture, right? But some people maybe they want to push it a little bit more just by giving normals, for example, or like just some roughness settings to that thing. Maybe if you have those, you can put it in. I don't know if you have it like later, but if you maybe want, you can do that. This is perfect. The grace. I love your contrast. Your contrast on the grayscale is awesome. So it doesn't matter what color you're gonna put later. It's gonna be balanced. So for any other 2D artists out there, like maintaining your contrast in your grayscale, it's everything. All right. Cool. Okay. And also like the same. So for the all three, you put all the information just like that. You standardize everything, and you did great job. All right. I would love to see more of this. Not gonna lie, because well, you have this, and probably right now you already like evolved into like something. Because I see this posted last year, for example. I mean, in a year you probably made a lot like other textures. You might want to update your work, right? Make it into like some more, you know, variations to things. Okay, let's go. So this one, Erika made like a health potion icon. A health potion icon I did as a small personal. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Personal project. It's personal. It's yours. That's good. Since this is supposed to be an in-game icon, and made sure it's still easy to read from a distance or when the image is being scaled down. Good thinking. Progressive thinking. That's good. Unlike my previous project, I did not use the grayscale to color workflow because I hate it. No. Instead, I'm using colors right away, using grayscale filter to check on the tones occasionally. Smart. That's how you evolve. And you did a great job on evolving. Again, like, been there myself. Like, I kind of evolved from that a little bit, making sure that all my tones is good in gray, and then like put like a color layer, and like, and then after a while, you get used to it and just like, I'm just gonna color this thing. And that's really, really good. And you did a great job. Cool. You still present the grayscale though, and that's also brilliant. But not gonna lie, on this one, the contrast is not as like as strong as before. But maybe this is because you just like finish everything and then later you convert it into some grayscale, right? So because this is very informative, but also when it comes to the contrast, you can check it. It can use a little bit more, especially when it comes to the texture of the cord. Everything else, you able to render the glass nicely. I want to feel a little bit of like texture on the rope, for example, right? Because this plastic, or I don't know what this is, like, or paper, this is good. But the cord, it can be a little bit more. And I'm just going to, for the sake of things, right? Let's try if I can actually do this. There we go. So I make it a little bit smaller. And that looks okay. Not gonna lie. That looks really good. I'm gonna make it full screen and make it small. It's readable. But as you can see yourself, right? Made it like this kind of small. I know that's a cord, but look at the contrast on that cord. It can be a little bit more better, right? So you can like separate between like, oh, that's the cord. Right now, it's just still, the contrast is kind of close, so might want to make it a little bit more. But overall, great job. Again, I want to see more your personal project because, well, if it's good, it's good. Oh, I thank you for being here. Just giving me the opportunity to look at your work and sharing it with the rest. And I know people can learn from each other, and I think this is like one opportunity to actually do that. That's why I'm making this session. It's not only for my sake, but also for all of like other people's sake. When it comes to like learning together, try to appreciate one another, because that's what artists should do, right? When we started like that, we started like with drawing some stupid stuff on a paper or in our mother's wall or something like that. So, and we evolved. So, but we don't do that by ourselves. We kinda, but still we need some other people's help when it comes to that. So listening to people, not comparing, but and also not to be competitive, because when it comes to art, there's nothing competitive about it, not gonna lie, at least from my own point of view. It's just like everyone will have different way to convey messages. So that's what we are as artists. That's what we do. We can just try to make the message a little bit more clearer, so to say, right? So there's no such thing of like, oh, that beautiful this. I mean, beauty is an eye of the beholder, right? What you need is message is there and it's acceptable, right? All right, so this one is Yoku Nemuru student project. Was a non-commercial student project. I work as my final project at SAE Institute Frankfurt. The scenery portrays a Japanese garden. That feels a little bit Japanesey. It did great because, well, again, we need to be able to convey that message sometimes. Put like some more visual aids to make sure that they understand what you mean, right? Now I can close the description, look at the picture, and I can safely say that I think this is Japanese based, just from the message that I'm getting from the picture. So you did great. The scenery portrays a Japanese garden in which the grave of a loved one is located. Hints on who that loved one used to be are scattered throughout the scene. Both the art style and the environment were inspired by the game Valorant by Riot Games. Great job adding that thing. Inspiration. Every asset was created by myself. Good, pushing yourself in there. That's a good thing to do. By myself and follow a low to high. Oh, so you're working low to high on this one. Amazing. Most textures are hand painted and created in a PBR compliant way. Okay. For some assets like walls or the ground, I created tiling texture in Substance Designer Substance Designer. Decals were used on the walls were created by Quixel. All right. The whole scenery was assembled in Unreal Engine 5 and is playable with an average of 100 FPS. Great job. Also posted last year. Can be like, early last year or, but still, 2024. Right? And this is, Erica, this is amazing. This is a good job. But I also want to like kind of push a little, being nitpicky a little bit, if you don't mind. Right? So from this one, yeah, Unreal is really good, especially when it comes to giving shadows, right? So you might want to revisit the light, like if the main light is not enough, try to give a little bit of like extra small lights here and there just to bump up that ambient occlusion, like that kind of value will help a lot in your work right now. So this one, I know it's lit and everything, but we're kind of missing the hard shadows, right? Because, well, like hard shadows can be there, like you can see that straight away, or you can see that as like a scatter shadows, but still those kind of like separation within the ambient occlusion can help a lot, like even bring your scene a little bit much more alive. So maybe put some, what you call it, post-processing to help out with that. Because right now, for example, like this one, you can feel like the grass on this one is very strong, yeah? But here, you don't feel the bump that strong. So you might want to balance out the light source for those grass, for example. You want to make it even, especially when people might be able to like run the game itself and like walk around. Like you want that consistency. So yeah, that's the only nitpicky thing that I can add. But hopefully you guys See, like here, like it's really floaty. It really makes things a little bit floaty without ambient occlusion. This one is good. This one also can use a little bit more. Imagine the dramatic effect from the light that actually bounces from here to the headstones and everything, and you create like another shading back there, you know. So there's a lot of things that you can actually push. Never feel enough. Well, of course, you need to be able to feel, "Ah, okay, this is enough. Let's do this." But again, especially like student project or assignment and stuff like that, sometimes you just want to be done with it. But this one, I love how you break the repetition, and it's really great. And I think, again, when it comes to that, ambient occlusion will help you a lot to break things out. See, imagine like some spot shadows that can be produced by these fines, for example. I know they're just like a card, but still. I love the cat statue. And I see you've been utilizing a lot of like the same assets many times, but your scattering is very good. So you able to hide your repetitions. Great job. Inside a bamboo. Mm-hmm. Well thought. Okay. All the presentations are there, right? You have like all the scenes shown, and now you come into this, like the assets themselves, right? This is really good. So you're making like an executive decision to just show the sculpt and the render, right? But again, this is me, right? You already have those renders, right? Don't bother like repeating those again here. I think you're going to be a little bit more benefit from showing the low poly, let's say, or show the bake, or like the UVs and everything. That will help a lot. So it will create like more variant in your presentation. So maybe, right? Because we already have a lot of like beautiful renders on the top. I don't want to be saying that again, right? Same with this one. I only saw like I thought it was a cat, but apparently it's a fox. So yes. Trees as well. So like scope of the tree, and then like the low poly of the tree, including the what you call it, the flower cards, the leaf cards, maybe. And UI as well. The concepts are there, that's good. The reference are there also. Great job. And this is literally like how you present your work. And on this one, do you want me to give you an input about the but no, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. Right, but can use some work. But that is good because you're basically using your background, your beautiful produced background for that. So that's really good. All right. Cool. Wow. You wow me, Erika. So that is great. I appreciate that you've been doing all of this and sharing with us right now. Okay. The next one, I probably going to be open this, right? Two of this, one of this, and also one of these fan arts. Then later, like, hey, I know this company. All right, I will check your. I think this is going to be your what? Asset works. Yeah, looks like that. Look, because it looks isometric. And we have this a visual development. All right, great. And probably one of the fan skin. So yeah, I hope you guys still okay. It took sometimes to talk about someone else's work, right? But I really do hope in this beautiful weekend you can like enjoy your time listening to some lo-fi's and my ugly voice. But yeah, that's why I make the music a little bit more blasting. So you would love to hear my opinion on Primorden, Primorden, and LOL Morgana. Ooh, this one is Morgana, right? Okay, okay. I will definitely do that. So now, grab some more coffee if you're into it, or like some tea. Make yourself warm in this cold evening. At least up here in Sweden, it's quite cold. So yeah, let's go. But I'm kind of curious with this one. So the art test for Arcane Cup. I want to see this. Ta-da! I concepted and rendered a mystical character as part of an art test. Okay, so this is your character, right? This is your OC. Good job. Ah, visual correction. I probably can show you something. When it comes to this, like designing this kind of character, right? Or like being like very pausy is good, but also it's going to be like very hard, like in reality, to be able to like split those cat fingers. I mean, you can try, but it's not going to look fluffy or like, funny or nice. So I think in this kind of like scenario, it will be safer for you to just use like a regular arms. You can definitely use the claws, right? But I think like feet, like feet and like palm your hands. I think it's better if you just utilize the normal one. And also maybe play around with like some shoes, probably. That way you can be like a little bit more agile. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. Again, might be wrong. But your facial features are good, and then also the gem is good. You can lower the contrast a little bit so it don't too not too bright, because right now the white and everything else is just like crashing to one another, right? Meanwhile, this one is beautiful. So imagine if you use like the same contrast for this one on this, beautiful, right? Like look at the sketch. Oh, you make a GIF for this. This wonderful. No complaints at all. You did great. Keep doing this, especially when it comes to like drawing. People want to see that your process from like sketching, put like the base colors, blendings, and just like rendering it in the end. You did a great job. You have like your understanding on base colors, foregrounds, and stuff like that, highlights. So it's great. And this is like a couple of, see, Erica. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, sorry. I tend to be like that. So yeah, when it comes to like designing characters, which I also dear with that topic since I'm doing that, like so I tend to comment a little bit more. But yeah, presentation's good. You're using grays as your base for your drawings, but later on, like the grays and everything are good, but maybe if you can separate the objects or the subjects more as well, maybe you can color the subjects with a lighter gray. So in that case, if you color like the subject with like lighter gray, it means if you want to have like this highlights and everything, it still should work because the highlight's going to be like in white or like broken white, right? So it's still going to work. But at least you will have separation between your background presentation and your subjects. So yeah, that's maybe like in the future you can utilize that. All right. So right now, as Erika said, maybe check on the Primorden. Cool. Ta-da! Style study, Primorden fan art. Another study I did for this piece, I tried to recreate Primorden's art style. It was really fun to do. Oh, and it looks really complicated and hard to do. I don't know if I can do something like this, but this is great. Okay, we come back to the final result. I want to see the process. Like before, you also present your step by step. Good sketch. We call this process a non-metallic metal, right? So because you're slapping like flat colors in like a flat surface, but you create an illusion of a metallic or shiny or gleaming things. So yeah, that's non-metallic metals. That's hard to manage to do this. Okay. And it's glowing. The glow is good, but this is the reference, right? So for the reference, their lighting play, it's a little bit more strong. Like they make all the glow more obvious. And I think if you want to pump, it's like pump more like the glows. Because if this hand's actually spreading some glows, you might want to alter your lighting over here under the hand. Then also like with this, because this will spark something and it will lit up. It will lift the highlights in this area, if you know what I mean. Because well, it's a light source, and also like this part is glowing, right? So it actually bleeds like that. So when it comes to like rim, probably the rim is going to be in where the light is actually strongest from. So might want to check that out, basically. But I think this is great. Like the framing is good. I mean, you're using this, right? This is really good, and also with the water makes this like into a framing somehow, and I love how you do it. But the rest, I think you already did like a great job on this. You just need to like push on the detail side a little bit more. The color play is good. Like I can see the mix of the water and the gold, so it's really nice. I just wish I have like the pink because I love when the flower is like pink. But yeah, but that is like really good execution. The glow is enough. It's not overkill. Yeah, hope that helps. Right? See, like if you already did like a lot of things like actually good, like I don't have like any other words to say things. So you managed to silence me. All right. So I'm going to check one of this. So heart looks cool, but eye looks even cooler. Like I know, I will go with the one that I like the most. So from these two. Oh, anyway, if you want to check like Erica's work, just go to visit her art station. You can see it. I will not be able to reveal all of them, but it's worth looking. She did like a really great job, at least in my point opinion. Can only get better from this. Okay, so these are the item icons from Chill Chat Games. Uh, Erica had a great opportunity to work on item icons while was a 2D artist at Chill Chat. It was super fun, learned a lot about importance of silhouette and color value. Yay! You already have that, but you get more and better, right? So great job. With all of this like artwork, I really do hope like you get something like soon. Great work. Like your rendering is on the spot. The style is nice. The use is of outline is great. You still utilize the small lines for helpers. You know which one that needs to be black. You know which one that needs to be like just let the original color slide with no outline at all. So that's great job. This one can be a little bit better, but well, this is good. I mean, if Shipshot loved it, then it's something, right? I just love this process. So yeah, presentation's good. Nothing to complain about, and your process about like making this icon like an options for, let's say, like the art director or your lead to check like which one this one is that actually better for the visualization to be used in the game. You did it clearly. Like even when it's like still black and white, the shading and the tones are there to help us out. This one, you split the elements, different colors. Also, great job. This is how you do, by the way, like everyone else. If you're like into making like 2D presentation of like a concept, like this kind of techniques can be really, really good to implement on your artwork. So if you have like different element in one or your drawings, basically, try to split it. Just let people know that okay, this is a different element. It can be water, it can be something else, can be maybe what's this cranberry juice or like yeah, that utilize this. And thank you so much, Erika, for having this in your portfolio because now people can learn more about this technique. So your share here is really appreciated. I know my students will love this. I mean, even I was like, wow, this is great. So thank you. Now it makes me want to jump to the other one. Okay, as isometrically, this is great. Okay, there's like a couple of like elements that you can split, baby. Like make it a little bit more clearer, so not too crowded. So let's say if there's like a movement or like some extra additional stuff or point of view, you might be a little bit more better if you split it into like some sections for them. Like I don't even want I'm not looking at the what you call it the game screenshot. I'm just looking at your work, and that's exactly what I need. So yeah, that's a great job. Okay, this one as well. You have like the 6 directional. So is it 6 or 8? 6, I think. Yeah. And this is also isometric and also hard ISO from the front. That's good. And then you have the NPC portraits when they like talk. So yeah, the expression cards. Oh my god. Remember when I'm making those things. Reference sheet for monsters. Okay, but nah, this is solid. But I keep doing this. But probably a little bit more, you know, when it comes to like sizings, right? Like back to that, have like some consistency when it comes to like you already present a lot of like in this size, like a square, 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 and then like bam. So be consistent on your presentation. Even though probably it's overkill if you still present this one in like this size, but at least if you have similarities, it's going to make the viewer a little bit more easy, when processing your messages. So yeah, don't give them inconsistency. But like, okay, big, small, big, 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 small. No, let it flow for them. That's the only thing that you can do, at least when it comes to like presentation. Yo, Sven, welcome. All right, so the next one, I'm going to skip this one. I want to check this one, no, but not this one. This one is like the visual development. SOL Arena. Ooh, all right. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what this is. Like, I'm old, so sorry about that. But the elements are nice. Again, like you have like a little bit of like spaces that you're not utilizing, so you might want to do that. Spread things evenly and make sure that you utilize the spaces that you have. This is crazy. Like drawing something that looks alike with like different styles and everything, but yeah. And also, if one of you studio people, I mean, if you see this one, you might want to take a look at this one. Like seriously, if you need a 2D artist, I don't know, probably you guys can like do something together. Looking at this, I think the ability is there. Shape, of course, like you need to shape it, but you guys might want to give Eric a contact. I mean, I know who you are. Come on, man. I know y'all like watching my stream later when I'm not streaming. I thank you though. All right, so this is the last one that I'm going to be doing for you, Erika. So it's the Debonair 2.0 Morgana League of Legends skin concept. Since Riot's game first announced the Debonair 2.0 skin line back in early 2021, I've been in love with this thematic and I wanted to do a skin concept for my all-time favorite Morgana. Morgana is proprietary of Riot Games, okay? Don't forget. And okay, so this one is your all-time favorite. Okay, so I'm just judging right now. I'm guessing you play this too much. No, but yeah. Sorry about that joke. Okay, let's see the turnaround. So you present the concept with the turnaround, and that's already like, well, it's 100% like in every concept art book, right? So you need to be able to portray your result in every direction. Well, not every, right? Just front, back, side, three, right? Because the other side can be duplicated. So, well, it's three unless they don't have like any symmetries. But that's like different cases. But most of all, usually three. Make it easy. You already did great. And also, you remember what I'm saying about the size of things? Imagine like this image is actually have like the same width with this one. So it means this small text, I can read it much more better. You get what I mean? So make sure you have that. Like it will, you will not lose anything from that. Making it bigger, like in the same size width wise, it would be great. So I don't know. Again, just an input, right? Right now, like me, I have to put on my reading glasses. So yeah, imagine like I'm the recruiter person, and I was like, and the recruiter person is like my age, and I have to reach out for this. Like, okay, what's that? That's I waste like 5 seconds for that. So present it a little bit more clearer for people. I know I can, and also because like I'm tech savvy, I know I can click this and make it bigger, but still, like that I waste 5 seconds. So sorry about that. I just cannot stand it. But your decision of putting your what you call it your work on top of the gameplay, I think that's great. That's a very smart things to do. Like this, you utilize like the game elements to present your result. That's really good. Dark binding. Oh, this is beautiful. I love this one. I love this one. Like seriously, not gonna lie. Why the hell we have like all of this metal thingy? I love the texture here. The green one is beautiful. But I guess you know better, like this is just me. My I don't play a lot. LOL. So I'm very sorry. I'm just like liking it just by the visual of it. So, oh, I love this. Also this. Don't do this. Like this is like kind of mixed, right? So let all the text outside of the presentation area, right? Just a side note, and it's a nitpicky one, but sometimes you can present a little bit better because you need to guide your elements. So you want people to see one, two, maybe three, four, five. So make sure that the placement is correct. You need to be able to lead your viewers so they don't go like, what? Okay, which one now? You get what I mean? So lead the eye. Now like this. He's like, ooh, ooh, choo choo. Like, oh, I heal. Just like imagining things right now. But this is perfect. Ooh, I don't know. I like this one. Like like in office and stuff. Like, oh my god. Not a big fan of this one. Strict. Uh, but I love this. This is so simple. This one is a little bit like Cruella vibes on it, but if you can have the floating thingy here, that would be cool as well because now you have like two of the mind popping things from the shoulder. This one is just elegant though. This one is just like, oh, nah, I want to see the face. Great job. Oh, I love this. You know what? You did great job on the presentation like this. The pose, the posing, the what you call it, the clothings, the clothing selections and options. I love how you present that. But the problem with this one is, right? Because you don't present it like this. Because you might want to have like this kind of like brightness and vibrancy to your gameplay presentation as well. No, so not only limiting yourself to like the effects, but you also like want to push yourself like this one a little bit more, you know. So it needs to be like out there more. But that's so far. Like I honestly don't have like anything else to add. So aside from great job, I know you will be doing something better than this soon because that's already great. Whew. Now that's that, and hopefully that helps, Erica. Like again, like I sincerely thank you for all of this. Like you letting me take a look at your work. You give me permission to talk about your work, and I really appreciate that. That's some move. Not everyone is like as simple as can be as simple as that. Just like go forward with whatever they have, and like let other people talk about that. You you already did a great job, and I believe you can only get better from here. But later, when it comes to your portfolio, please at least think about like what I'm proposing. Only present the best later for your portfolio. You want the best. You want the one that actually well placed, well made. Couple of them. Doesn't have to be all of them. Put the rest of your great artwork somewhere else, like in some folders, or like in ArtStation you can split it. You can create a folder of a portfolio and artwork, for example, or like just put it on your blog or on your website. So please do that. But that again, that's my opinion, because I think recruiters or like studios or like people, they can benefit from your presentation as well by not being too confused, right? Just point them to the right way and they will follow that way that you give them. I think, at least in my understanding. But yeah, that's all. And thank you so much, Erika. I want to remind you guys when it comes to this, right? Uh, you are free to come again and again. If you made like what you call it, like more things in the future, doesn't mean that you've been in this not show. I mean, like this review, for example, and then later you want to be in it again. You're very more than welcome to come to me, like because I love talking about this, and hopefully, like the rest that's watching this with us, like together, they can learn like something new from what you've been doing. Like today, I learned like something that I can talk to my students later when I have a class. Like, oh, this is how I saw like this person doing this presentation like this, and they will benefit from that. So again, thank you so much. Yes, and thank you. You're always welcome to our stream. And also, like I have that right. So if you want to join the Discord server, just to talk and just to communicate with like fellow artists, or me, like I'm there as well. Feel free to join, because well, nothing more better than togetherness. We help each other out. What? Sven, you always come with like some bad news and stuff, man. Like, oh my god. Seriously, Sven? See, so that reminds me again, like I cannot live without like my students as well. Like, oh my god. So I need to make sure that the server is actually working at. Oh, thank you for that. What was that? Like a bling bling bling, like someone's followed me. Thank you. Okay. Edit. Expire after never. There we go. Like I made it into never expired. No, it's fine. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate. But yeah, all right. Enough about this. Like we still have like one more artist to talk about, and hopefully I can help out. All right. So the next one is Dila. I really hope Dila is here, and I'm sorry for the wait. Because you're here, and thank you for the follow. All right. So let's see. Okay, so Dila is from Ankara, Turkey. And as an architecture graduate pursuing a career change. So this is going to be interesting for Dila, I guess. Like into the world of 3D art. Dila enjoy experimenting with ideas, combining structure with creativity, and always eager to learn. But that's the most important thing, right? So the goal is to contribute to the worlds of films and games with compelling, meaningful designs. And I sincerely hope you will. So let's go to Dila's portfolio. And I also hope that I pronounce your name correctly. Sorry if I'm not. There we go. So this is Dila's art station. So you can find now, if you want to check work, you can check this link, dilagokdam.artstation.com. Okay, this is perfect. When you're going to utilize ArtStation, like I said again, like I know I already repeated this like 3 times, like 4 times already. Create folders, right? So the recruiters or like people that want to check your work, they can know like which one is which, right? Like this one, if they want to check all of your work, because maybe there will be like hundreds and hundreds of them, they can click that one. But if they want to check like a specific project that you want to show them, like let's say they're looking for a 3D artist or they're looking for like a 2D artist, something like that, you can give them a little bit more, breathing room or filtering, so to say. And this is great already. Right now, though, I saw 10 projects overall, and you have five 3D projects, you have 4 board game designs, and you have stylized 3D projects. All right. So I'm gonna start with the 3D projects. All right. Click. Okay. So Dila, like, I'm here not to bash on your work. Like, I'm not going to be the one that telling you this is correct or not correct when it comes to the result, right? You know your workflow, you know your pipeline. Hopefully, I can guide you a little bit on how to present it a little bit better to your viewers, right? Because I know when it comes to like artists or like doing artwork, we can only get better after time, after we keep repeating doing the thing that we love and sometimes hate. Because I mean, if you don't say that you hate your work sometimes, I think that's a lie. Something like I will stress myself like from drawing for too much. But yeah. All right, so we have the all of this, and I will check this one first. It's a medieval knight helmet, like shape wise and everything. This you already there in the right direction, right? I'm not gonna say that this one is too simple because there's nothing simple about this. Well, you spend some time to actually work on this. Can be better, of course, but again, that's over time and with a lot of practice, right? So this project represents one of my early steps in 3D art, combining multiple software workflows to bring the design to life. And like you do modeling with Max, and then like high poly sculpts like in ZBrush, and then using the high to low bake in Painter, right, in Substance. So you already in the right track right now. You already using the perfect software to do that. I mean, like for 3D modelers, you can use whatever, because like it just depends on like how do you like the way it works, right? You can use Maya, Blender, whatever, doesn't matter, right? But there are like some industry standards as well, right? Because, well, not industry standards like by law, but it's just like most of the companies in the industry will be using that software. But nowadays, usually it's a little bit more agile, right? I know like some 3D modeling software that have been used for some game studios. They use Maya for the entire pipeline. But as long as you have the understanding of a 3D software, because it's never changed, right? You make goddamn boxes and shit. So just follow along. You just need to relearn the software, right? But yeah, enough about that. Let's check the overall of it. Like, you got all the details nicely. Your presentation is nice. You use black for your background. Later on, maybe don't use black because all ArtStation already have black, right? So maybe you want to push that a little bit. Just play with the contrast a little bit. Maybe making it a little bit dark, grayish black. Like up the tone a little bit. It's still dark, but so you have separation between. Because right now, it's just not enough. Because right here you have the light, right? And you have the dark, and here it's kind of close to dark. So the consistency is not there. So if you want to create a separation, or just put hashtag 0000000, make it jet black, right? So, but in this case, I think you might want to be able to benefit from like a little bit of like lighter background as well to make your artwork a little bit agile. Texturing nice. Like, I don't know if you create this material from scratch, or maybe you're using like a smart material and just like slap, oh, metal, won't. It's fine either way, but you do choose like the right material for that. It's just some of these, right? The depth of things, because this part, for example, it's a different part with this. It's different, like different material. Like this one is like from, I don't know, some iron stuff, and this one probably from bronze or gold. So you still need to let the viewer knows the separation between the material. Because if we look from the side, right, let's say this is the metallic helmet, right? And then we're talking about the gold trim over there. Maybe the gold trim is a little bit raised above, right? And we look at from this side. I might want to see the separation between the materials, maybe some ambient occlusion, or make the material a little bit more thicker. Oh, sorry, the model a little bit thicker if you have it, or if you have like a normal map, you want to push it a little bit more. But that's all I can say when it comes to this thing. Man, this is good. Honestly, when it comes to this is just like an option, right? Because it's symmetrical. Like right now, the only differences between these two angles is just this one got blood on it and this one don't. So if you want to do this kind of like presentation, not like just these two, for example, because that thing is good. You might want to add like something to the other angle, right? Maybe this one have like some, I don't know, some damage that's so visible to make it like a little bit more different, or maybe like a dent or something. So don't waste your space. I mean, if it's not necessary. Unless it's very necessary, then you do. Right? Hopefully you get what I'm talking about. Oh, nice. Nice. You share the poly counts. Not the best poly counts, but hey, like I said, it can only get better. Keep practicing doing that. You will get the optimal poly counts, right? There is a lot of softwares also to help you with this, to achieve like your polygon counts. So they will like remesh your models and stuff like that. So don't worry about that. But if you into this, like torturing yourself type. Because like I'm bad at 3D modeling. Like my 3D model is just like meh, you know? Like so when I saw like even like I saw my students doing this and they did like really great job at like poly counts. Sometimes I'm just like, damn, I wish I can be like that, but eh, I'm just lazy. But yeah, all right. So, oh, okay, texture. All right, you might want to what you call it, arrange your textures, your UV map a little bit more better because you will benefit a lot. Like, oops, sorry about that. You benefit a lot from this. How the hell do I? Okay, so this, for example, right? From the flow, because your helmet have a flow like that. So imagine if your texture, your UVs is actually because you already did a great job at this one. This one is perfect. Make sure that everything following the flow of the model itself. So, yep. Hmm. Right. So, but again, like those kind of things, like over time, right? So you might want to like work it. You keep practicing when you're doing your UV map because again, like when it comes to like 3D work, this is not my favorite part. Like I hate making UV or working on that in general. So usually I tend to be in the lazy side, but at least when it comes to like my UV cuts, like I make sure that everything is actually laid out in the nice plane. So later on, if I need to have like an obvious seam, I can take care of it. I can recover it, so to say. Or if I need to paint on top of it, I will have like an even surface to paint with. So yeah, and this is your reference. Ooh, that's like something. So this one, like the separations are there, like this black lines, for example, it's there. See, even though it's long like only a painting, like my guess is a little bit off, but still, when it comes to like this kind of painting, that paint is going to be on top of the iron, right? So, you know, differences are needed. All right, but great job on this one. I wish you can like revisit that model again. Then we have the retaining wall. So presentation is amazing. Dila keep doing this. Not gonna lie, this is good presentation when it comes to model. So I think I will not add anything else because I like it. Like you have the comparison, but this is too much because you already have like one size comparison and that's enough. Like you don't need two from the left and from the right, so one is enough. And this is just like when you see the repetition, and this when you're bending it, so no distortion at all on the texture. And oh, this is nice, very clear. Your sculpt, your normal matte, your like occlusion, like roughness and everything, like in there. And this is the Z mesh. So yeah, like I don't think I'm gonna be like doing some, but you can be. I mean, you can take advantage from the low poly if you create like a low poly version of the models. Like not only like Z remeshing it, but just retopology things, or so you can have like better polygon count on your low poly, because that's a lot of like polygons wasted on a really flat model, right? So I had food for thoughts, but great job on this one. I'm gonna like it. All right, so the next one is the medieval wooden gate. Okay, you sculpted this individually. Great job. Look at those texture. Well, you into medieval stuff, I see. Same as before, your presentation is amazing. Keep doing this. Oh my god, you utilize this separation. Oh, nice. Great job. And you keep the width consistent as well. So kudos to that, because right now I don't have to like switch my angles of viewing, but you got everything. Okay, and again, Dila, later, is it really worth it to take like a couple of angles of this and that? So make sure if it's symmetrical, one side is enough. But if you have like another different, there's like, let's say the pillar on this one is broken, maybe you can use that. But right now, if you just show the audience like only the half of your door, it still works, right? So add a little bit more story to your artwork. That's what makes your result unique, not gonna lie. Because right now you're already able to achieve this result. Might as well tell some story about it. Why it's like that. Maybe let one of the door open. Make the viewer wonders like, oh, what's behind that? Or maybe like a growing vine, or maybe some of the stones are actually chipped, crumbling, or whatnot. Give people a reason to actually enjoy your visual more, so they will keep guessing and wanting more. All right, cool. Now we have this fighter aircraft. Like I cannot comment about this, but in my opinion, right, it's a very flat model, right? It's like seriously, it's just flat, right? The only thing that can make this thing pop is not all of this, right? I don't think you want to combine your terrain graphics graphs with your model. Right now, you just want to present your model as best as possible. I think utilizing the real world photos can be a little bit more beneficial on this one. So go ahead for this one, for example. Adjust your scenery, like camera track it with like real backgrounds, for example, like some snowy mountain somewhere. So use that to your advantage. Then you will be also credited for compositing your 3D models to the scenery. So, in a more connecting way. But that's the only thing I can add about it. Because right now, like this one is like kind of smaller than this. I'm not a big fan of that. Like again, like when it comes to like presentation, I'm very nitpicky when it comes to the weight, like heights and everything. But yeah. Ah. Okay, and the last one for the 3D, this is like a scrap Voyager spaceship. Okay, created for an upcoming animated music video project that you're part of. Nice. All right. So let's see. Like, yep, yep. This is a nice shot. This is a nice shot. Great job. This is like a Star Wars pod running by itself. Like you use the greebles nicely. I don't know if you modeled it or you like hit bash at 3D models, but this is a great job. Like the texturing needs to be a little bit more consistent as well. I mean, if you have damage on parts, like most likely like the other parts have damage as well. So usually they're consistent. Might want to work on that a bit. in your next work, of course, because this is already there and this is good. Yeah, UV is already much more better than before. So yes, yes. Like all the flatness are there. And then you have the material ID. That's good. Top view, bottom view, because they have like different properties. That's good. I don't think this is necessary. Like because you already have like the presentation of the renders. So yeah. Yes, you model it and use some kit press element. That's nice. That's nice. Because you in the end it's the silhouette is yours, so you create that. And that's good. This is very good. Like how you put planet. But again, right, Dila? Let's get back to this, like to the top. The difference between you render the Earth and probably you utilize some shot of Earth that other people already taken, if you can at all, if you get like like a open source stuff, maybe you can just use that. It's going to make your workflow a little bit faster. And then you have like all the design references. I love how you use the Millennium Falcon's cockpit. So, oh, the Ebon Hawk, nice. But from all of these references, I think you managed to create something that is really, really worth looking at. And again, you're sticking to your style of presentation, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, so there we go. You have that kind of style, and when it comes to the presentation, and I'm guessing you will have that as well in your board design in like stylized 3D project. I'm gonna check because you're consistent on this one. Box, right? I love how you capture the size that I want to take. I want to see in details, and that's great move. You have the overall shot, and then you have the money shot, and that's great. Now I see this like, oh, that's cute. You utilize all the texture as well. Nice. The lipsticks are great, and then you even more focus on some things because you made those assets and you want to show. Good way. Oh, Miss Hepburn. Oh, look at that, Polly. Way, way better. Don't ever change this one, Dila. Like the way you present stuff. This is you, so do it. The last one is your board game design. So design cards and box. Ooh, what else? Not a big fan of this one because well, this one is like square and this one's like white. But again, it's me, Dila. I'm just nitpicky when it comes to that. Like I'm guessing your style of presentation is the same. So nice work sticking by it. I might like use this as an example for my students as well later. So this is great reference for them to work with because clean is something. Oh, this is like you making like a mock-up boxes and stuff. Nice, nice. All right, great job. Okay, so you're making your transition to Blender now already. Same with this one. Well, the but yeah, great job. this is for mock-ups, and I used to do this back in the day, when I was a graphic designer. That's a long, long time ago. So I miss this, but that's why I kind of like this kind of like presentation, like because it back in the day it works like this. Client can see all of our works a little bit more clearer. For now, I think the only thing that you need to, well, not fix, it's just you need to repeat is like keep producing those results, like those artworks. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. Keep doing that, because you need those repetitions to be able to find like not the most perfect, but the most way that you can enjoy and save your not life, but your workflows, basically save you some time. Make sure you can implement all of those knowledge that you had from before into like right now. And maybe if you can, maybe you just join in like our Discord or something like that, or maybe like talk with some other artists in there. Maybe, well, the Discord is still new, but we'll try to build up, try to talk with them. But for now, well, I think that's about it. So I'm really happy about doing your portfolio. Hopefully, you will come again with your new-ish portfolio, like in the future. And I really, really thank you for you making yourself available for me to talk about your portfolio. So thank you for the trust. And I'm very, very sorry about like a lot of things that I'm still lacking of, like again, like I said also in everywhere, like I'm not the best. Never. But at least I'm going to try to be like as honest as possible when it comes to talking about things like this, because I would love to see other people, making it. Because if other people's happy, then it means I'm happy too. So yeah. So, and please like spread the words to your friends, families, like if they happen to be an artist and in need of like some, just general point of view or like other people's point of view, tell them to come in. I would love to do like more and more artworks in the next show. So, yes. Oh, oh, thank you, Chris. You're so sweet. And thank you so much for, sticking with me and just spending whatever time we have left in this Saturday. We still have like one more day to chill tomorrow, right? Get ready for Monday. Well, at least me, work sweeping. But thank you again, and I really do hope you guys have a great evening. Get some rest or play some games if you still like powerful. Sip some more coffee, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. I hope you well. Salam. Peace.